adding up the cost of running a city.
We have to look at some line item by line item, go through them all.
Councillors start looking at the budget, with police hoping for hundreds more officers. Plus, a growing interest in soccer.
We've got over 35,000 registrations, players playing the beautiful game.
Charity and government team up for a new facility. And a spike in skin cancer.
It can be deadly and unfortunately is killing 3 people in Canada every single day.
Why it's on the rise, especially among younger Canadians.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news. With Tara Nelson. Reporting tonight, Ian White.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Calgary's next budget is being crafted behind closed doors, but you're already being told to expect another tax increase. Councillors are spending hours going line by line at City Hall. Jordan Canigan joins us with more on this. And Jordan, we won't know exact figures for months.
In the next 4-year budget cycle won't be finalized until closer to the end of the year. But already today, councillors hearing from different city departments about what they need in that next budget cycle, and some are already asking for more money. However, all of those discussions, as you mentioned, happening behind closed doors. That's what hours and hours were spent on by council today. We do already know that the Calgary Police Service and Fire Department will each be asking for budget increases. The police chief has previously said the service's ask will be significant as they hope to hire more than 600 additional officers by 2030. She was here at City Hall today making the case to council for additional money. We also know Calgary is behind on infrastructure spending and would need billions of dollars to catch up on deteriorating bridges, roads, and of course water pipes. We don't yet know what the property tax increase will be, but we do know that one is coming.
Well, we're seeing a lot of significant asks and a projected tax rate that to me is just unacceptable. So we have to look at some line item by line item, go through them all. Again, to me, public safety is very important. Your roads, your snow removal, your basic essential services, let's look at those first and then start looking at ones that we have to cut.
Now, those budget talks are continuing even now, but again, all of those numbers are confidential so far. This is all coming during a really busy agenda on what is their last meeting before summer break, and they're still set to talk about things like a proposed lobbyist registry and also the potential for increases to the budgets of their own individual offices.
Lots to talk about. Thanks very much, Jordan. A pedestrian who was struck by a C train in southwest Calgary has died from her injuries. Police say she walked into a prohibited area of the Shankanappy Point LRT station along Bow Trail at about 4 yesterday afternoon. As the C train approached from the east, the woman walked onto the tracks. The C train operator activated the train's horn and emergency brakes, but she was hit. Paramedics rushed the woman to hospital, but she did not survive. Police say impairment on behalf of the pedestrian is being investigated as a factor. A woman has been found after she went missing in the Bow River late this afternoon. Fire crews were called just before 4:30 after reports a woman had gone missing while river surfing around the Iverstrong Bridge. Multiple jet boats were called in for the search. The woman was found a short time later. Firefighters responded to a care facility in the southeast today for a high-angle rescue. A worker on the roof of the Providence Care Center was injured and was unable to climb down. The technical rescue team and a tower ladder truck helped the worker get to ground level. He was brought down through the inside of the building and placed on a stretcher. He was transported to hospital in stable condition with minor injuries. 11-year-old Parker Wells remains missing, but there were no visible search efforts happening today in the area where he was last seen. Police have focused their efforts away from the physical search after 12 days of extensive searching in the Thorncliffe and Nose Hill Park areas. No pop-up volunteer tent was set up today. Police say a dedicated team of investigators continue to actively work on the file. Anyone with information that may assist in locating Parker is asked to contact police. The search continues for an 81-year-old man who was last seen hiking in Waterton Lakes National Park. Bob Toothill was last seen over a week ago near Roe Lakes. Quinn Keenan has more.
Aerial and ground searches continue today for a missing 81-year-old hiker. On Thursday, July 16th, Bob Toothill set out to hike the Great Divide Trail from Waterton all the way to Coleman in the Crow's Nest Pass. He was supposed to arrive by July 22nd, but never made it. His family reported him missing a day later. Toothill's family says he checked in with them on Friday, July 17th. He was last seen at the Roe Lake Trail northwest of the Waterton town site Sunday, July 19th. Despite his age, a journey like this appeared to be well within Toothill's capabilities. In a Facebook post, his daughter described him as an avid outdoorsman. She claims he could easily hike 15 to 20 kilometers or more in a day. Search and rescue experts say this highlights the importance of being prepared.
Having a trip plan left with a responsible individual ahead of time helps narrow down where we think the individual might be. Sticking to that trip plan, so when you let somebody know, where you're going, the route you're taking, actually following that route and following your trip plan.
Parks Canada is concentrating their search in the western half of the national park. Southwest Regional Search and Rescue, meanwhile, is searching outside the park. Aerial resources have also been brought in. Toothill may be wearing dark blue shorts or pants, light blue shirt, and a gray backpack. Parks Canada is asking the public not to do any volunteer searches at this time. The rugged terrain can put searchers at risk and impact the ongoing search efforts. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Waterton.
If you have any information or were in the area and saw a person that fits the description, you're asked to call Parks Canada. A 65-year-old Calgary man is dead following a fall on the Mount Temple scrambling route in Banff National Park. Parks Canada says the man was hiking with a group of people when he slipped and fell on Saturday. The group called for help and visitor safety specialists responded. Parks Canada says staff arrived at the site via helicopter and deployed a helisling to lift him to a staging area, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. A new community soccer pitch will be coming to Calgary in the future. It's part of a funding initiative between the city, the federal government, and the Canadian Tire Jumpstart charity. Moses Waldu has the details.
It's a huge announcement for Calgary minor soccer.
I couldn't think of a better time to be present for an announcement about how the sport of soccer is going to get a real kick past the goalposts. Calgarians need more soccer pitches.
Calgary is one of 25 communities across the country to receive a brand new community soccer pitch. It's part of a project through Canadian Tire's Jumpstart charity and a $2 million commitment from the federal government through Sport Canada.
We want to remove all the barriers to access for sport and make sure that everybody can participate, because it's participation that matters most in sport.
The Calgary Minor Soccer Association says the small playing area, or new mini pitch, will be similar to what we see in communities across the country.
Well, as a youth myself, I grew up at an ODR, and there's twice as many soccer players here in Calgary, and it's finally their chance to have that gathering place and really connect with their community.
There is no decision as to when or where the new mini pitch will go, but this investment goes hand in hand with the city's game plan strategy, a vision for future and public recreation in Calgary for the next 25 years.
We've been really focused on building new recreation centers in new communities, but we now are at the point where a lot of neighborhoods, like the ones that we're in here today in Ward 4, desperately need their recreation facilities to be upgraded as well.
And CMSA is hoping to capitalize on the success of the World Cup and this announcement.
Soccer is surging. We've got over 35,000 registrations, players playing the beautiful game here in Calgary.
And Moses joins us now from New Brighton. Moses, the CMSA calls it a great announcement, but more needs to be done. What has the CMSA said about the need for more facilities?
That's right, Ian, and here's some numbers for you. So you look at the CMSA, they have a large number of kids participating now. By 2030, they expect that number to jump to 45,000 kids participating in soccer. And then you have an additional 15,000 from the surrounding area here in Calgary. So 60,000 plus, and you only have 3 indoor facilities currently. They say that they need about 7 just to keep up with demand by 2030. Ian?
A growth sport indeed. Thanks very much, Moses. New polling shows support for separatism in Alberta has leveled off. A survey done by Innovative Research Group shows a large majority of voters in every region of the province want to remain in Canada. Tim Brooke joins us with details. And Tim, this poll surveyed 2,000 voters online in early June.
Yes, Ian, the company that collected all of that data says, in fact, that this is now tied for the largest ever publicly released poll on Alberta's constitutional future. And well, as you mentioned there, it says that the number of people who want Alberta to remain a part of Canada far outnumbers the people who want to leave the country. So here's a look at some of the data here. Just like a lot of other polls have suggested, the largest support for staying in Canada is in Alberta's 2 big cities. Calgary, 78% of respondents say they'll definitely or probably vote to stay. In Edmonton, 80%. And even in more rural areas, the stays won by at least 2-1. 66% of respondents in central and northern Alberta say they'll vote to remain, and 72% of those in the south feel the same way. Now, those numbers aren't far off from what we've seen in other polls.
This is a case where people's views are locked in. I don't think that there are a lot of people who are on the fence and, could be swayed by an argument in one direction or another direction.
It really boils down to getting people out to the polls. It's the side that shows up on referendum day that will win the vote. And that means people can't be complacent. They can't just post their opinion. They've got to get out and put an X beside their name.
And this poll was commissioned by Vote to Stay. That's a new registered third-party advertiser that actually includes former Alberta Premier Jason Kenney. Now, of course, Kenney's been very outspoken on the separation issue and on some of the economic impacts that the separation issue is currently having. And Vote to Stay has new data out that claims that if Alberta were to leave Canada, in its first year on its own, the deficit it would run, Ian, would be $27.2 billion.
Thank you, Tim. Danielle, it seems like a delightful summer night with a little bit of heat out there, too.
Yes. Once again, we are lucking out in the weather department. While in central Alberta, they are getting another round of some really active weather. So we have the heat, but in Calgary, it's a more reasonable heat, which is why we're not under a heat warning. But most other communities in southern Alberta are. So we're looking at stable conditions because all of that active weather, thanks to the ridge of high pressure in the jet stream, is being redirected up and around us. So we get this nice blue sky. 30 degrees is our daytime high. Current temperature. We have a light breeze out there. And when you're looking at the 24-hour forecast, one key thing I do have to mention is we are going to get to tonight through tomorrow, we'll start to get a wind out of Washington and Oregon states. And that could bring in a little bit of some smoky air tonight and parts of tomorrow. So we may even pop up to high. Less likely though, but it may get a little smokier. Tomorrow you're looking at a high of 27.
Thanks, Danielle. An alleged spy scandal is unfolding in Europe. Still to come, the intern chosen by Canada now accused of espionage at NATO headquarters. And Donald Trump phones into Fox News and upsets trade talks with Canada again. Federal Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc is in Washington for more trade talks, but he may be facing an uphill battle. Donald Trump says he doesn't care about updating the trade pact with Canada and Mexico. Analysts say Trump's latest jabs should prompt the Canadian government to reconsider their approach. Rachel Aiello reports.
So the USMCA, are you looking to update that?
I don't care. I mean, I don't really want to.
U.S. President Donald Trump made it clear today he doesn't really want to renegotiate the trilateral trade pact known on this side of the border as CUSMA.
I'd rather be independent. Here's the thing. Mexico and Canada need us. We don't need them. The deal is important for them. It's not important for us.
This declaration prompting new questions about Canada's ability to get a good deal.
We haven't seen the intensity that a government that is focused on its interests should be bringing to our own North American contact.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and this country's chief trade negotiator are heading back down to D.C. this week for meetings. And this longtime Canada-U.S. relations expert says Trump's latest comments show that this country should be treating this trade war like a war.
It's not because you wish to exacerbate the trade war with tit-for-tat retaliation. That's not working. And it's not that you want to, do something dramatic that'll hurt your own economy. But the U.S. has to be convinced that you're willing to. That's, I think, where we are.
With just 3 weeks left before Trump's 50% tariffs on a range of Canadian exports come into effect, there's little clarity on the minister's game plan.
I think he owes our country some transparency.
And new data indicates the renewed tariff threats are casting a fresh chill on already frozen business investment.
Holding back on business investments today, whether it's investing in machinery and equipment, R&D, or people, means delayed in future growth, in wages and productivity later on. And so with all this uncertainty, it's really starting to affect our long-term competitiveness.
LeBlanc's office confirmed to us this afternoon that the minister is now in D.C., but still won't say how long he plans to be there. Asked to respond to Trump's latest salvo and if it hurts their chances of getting a deal, the minister's spokesperson said, quote, "We will not comment on that." Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with President Trump this morning at the White House. Zelensky described it as a good meeting and shared these photos online. The discussion focused on licensing Ukraine to produce U.S. Patriot missile interceptors and how to reinvigorate peace talks with Russia. A Canadian intern accused of spying while working at NATO military headquarters in Belgium has been denied bail. The woman is of Chinese origin, and there are allegations she was taking orders from another country. Judy Trin has more.
A Canadian intern will remain behind bars after being denied bail. The woman is accused of spying at NATO's strategic headquarters in Mons, Belgium, known as SHAPE. The suspect allegedly worked for an unnamed third country and is a member of a criminal organization. NATO interns are usually screened by member countries. In Canada, CSIS and the RCMP would be involved in the vetting.
I don't think it's worrisome.
Dan Stanton, a former CSIS officer, said this could be a counterintelligence operation. And the deliberate disclosure of ethnicity sends a message to the foreign power she's working for.
The way we've uncovered, or we, meaning the government, or various governments, have uncovered perhaps the modus operandi of an intelligence service and has stopped the further development of what could be a mole or a penetration agent on behalf of another country, let's say China.
SHAPE is the command center for NATO, where the alliance plans its military operations and decides where to move troops and weapons. In a statement, Colonel Martin O'Donnell says there's no indication that NATO or SHAPE operational readiness, command and control, or ongoing tasks have been adversely affected. SHAPE, the supreme headquarters of Allied Powers Europe, hires 35 interns a year. Now that the Canadian woman and alleged spy has been denied bail, she'll have the opportunity to appeal. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
A Calgary veteran who has been featured on CTV News several times has died. Retired Navy Captain Bill Wilson passed away on Monday. He was a gunner with the Canadian Forces on D-Day. Wilson served on the organizing committee for the 1988 Calgary Winter Olympics and was the driving force behind the Naval Museum of Alberta and the military museums in Calgary. His family is remembering him as a devoted family man, mentor, and patriot who will continue to inspire generations of Canadians. Wilson was 101.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Well, Danielle, heat really is the story. We got it today, and it continues on through the rest of the work week and maybe even into the weekend, too.
Yeah, right through until the end of Saturday. And then our weather pattern will definitely change by Sunday. We'll have cooler temperatures, likely kicking off with some thunderstorm activity as well. So our long weekend will be combined with some dry, hot, stable, sunny days, but also potentially some cooler active days. We'll talk more about the long range in just a second, but just looking at the temperatures right now, we got to a high of 30 today in the city. That's where we're sitting right now. 31 for Lethbridge and Brooks, 32 for Drumheller, and 34 for Medicine Hat. So we definitely have a lot of heat. The hottest weather is in the southeast corner here, and this is where it will remain hot consistently in the 30s right through until the end of Saturday. But for Calgary, we're going to regulate a little bit. We'll dip down to those higher 20s. So a little more reasonable, but still hot. And then we'll bounce back up to 33 on Saturday. So we're going to, have a little bit more of I guess you could say a little bit of a relief in comparison to what they're getting in the southeast corner, which is why we have the warnings in place. Medicine Hat up to Jenner, down Foremost and Many Berries, over to Lethbridge, Nanton, up to Bragg Creek, and even Chestermere's in this as well through Strathmore. So these areas are under the heat warning, in the similar spot as what we had yesterday. And this warnings map certainly shows and paints a picture of what's been going on. So really poor air quality on the BC side, which is where they have the air quality warnings in place. And then basically Innisfail and north, there's either in the light yellow here, severe thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado watch is in place. Again, the jet stream, which is mainly the storm track, has been directing all of this activity up into central Alberta once again. This has been the story for the last 3 weeks there. Well, we're under these ridges of high pressure, and we're getting that stability and that sunshine and that heat, which is going to continue. We're in this pattern for the long haul, right until Sunday, pretty much. All right, so the jet stream in this lighter orange here, it's not only going to be north of us, but it's actually, this ridge of high pressure is going to intensify as we get into the weekend, which is why we're going to get an even further push of hot air from the States, and that's what will make our temperatures climb on Saturday to 33 degrees. When we look at the futurecast, again, because of that ridge of high pressure and that jet stream to the north of us, which redirects everything will continually go into central Alberta and move up and around us. So we have a lot of sunshine in the forecast, stability and heat. So 27 for tomorrow, 28 for Thursday. By Friday, you're looking at 31, and there's your 33 for Saturday. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast.
Thank you, Danielle. And central and northern Alberta keeps getting hit with severe weather. Elk Island National Park east of Edmonton is closed until further notice because of storm damage. Parks Canada says it's dealing with flooding and downed and hazardous trees, and that poses a threat to visitor safety. The park will reopen as soon as it's safe to do so. In British Columbia, dry and windy conditions are hampering efforts by wildfire fighters to get the upper hand.
It has grown significantly over the course of the last number of days, and while there was some precipitation over the last day, continue to be concerned with the direction that fire is heading.
Two fires near the village of Clinton merged over the weekend. That out-of-control fire now covers 630 square kilometers. The wildfire has triggered more evacuations, with nearly 600 properties ordered to evacuate and almost 1,000 on evacuation alert. Weather is also hampering efforts to get the Brunswick Creek complex of fires near Boston Bar under control. BC has 132 wildfires province-wide. Campfire bans are in place throughout much of BC, but not everyone is following the rules. Conservation officers conducted patrols throughout the weekend, finding multiple illegal campfires. 19 violation tickets were issued, totaling nearly $22,000 in fines. More than 150 wildfires are burning across Ontario, including the largest fire in that province's history. The massive fire is dubbed Thunder Bay 36. It covers more than 3,000 square kilometers. Recent rainfall has helped slow the fire, but officials say it's still out of control. At least 22 other fires are also out of control. Additional crews from Alberta have arrived to help in the fight. On a street in Sherwood Park, people feel unsafe. It's because of one house already condemned by AHS, but people still live there. And just how much will a private MRI or a CT scan set you back? An estimate as Alberta changes the landscape for medical testing. The Prime Minister will be in Red Deer tomorrow. The Prime Minister's office says the visit will include a late morning housing announcement and a visit with local canola farmers. Premier Danielle Smith's office says she will join Carney for the housing announcement. This will be Mark Carney's third visit to Alberta this month. He previously made 2 stops in Calgary to promote Canadian unity, to advance the West Coast Pipeline, and to take in the Stampede. At least one Alberta diagnostic centre expects more people will seek imaging testing after self-referrals begin on Friday. The province says patients should be prepared to pay the full cost before reimbursement. If the test leads to a cancer diagnosis, the patient can apply for the province to reimburse them up to established rates. The province says the average cost of an X-ray ranges from $20 to $140. Ultrasounds average between $100 and $500. CT scans can cost between $250 and $1,000, and an MRI ranges from $600 to $1,200. While one centre expects the new policy means more tests will be conducted, it doesn't know by how much.
The number of private paid imaging exams in the province currently is measured in the low tens of thousands, right? So if it increased by 3 or 4 times, that could be, 50 or 60,000 additional exams. This is very speculative, right? Because we don't have experience with this particular model, and it'll take some time for the capacity to build.
The province says information about the publicly funded rates for reimbursement will be released on Friday. A house in Sherwood Park is causing quite a stir with neighbours, prompting a response from RCMP and Strathcona County. The property has been condemned by AHS, but an eviction notice has not yet gone out. Noah Rashog has the story.
We're afraid for the safety of those in the neighbourhood.
People who call Sherwood Park's Glengarry Street home are fed up with their unruly neighbors. They say they've dealt with dog attacks, late-night police calls, and fights.
So some of those dogs got out and have attacked several of our neighbors. One lady was actually hospitalized, so it's very serious.
2 seniors down the street say they were chased by the dogs after they got loose. They spoke to CTV News anonymously, fearing for their safety.
There were 5 of them that came around the corner after her, and I just happened to come back after the dog that was chasing me, and we ran them off. But we were lucky because other people have been attacked.
Neighbors say they often see suspicious activity at the house. A notice to vacate the property was issued by AHS in September. Other notices have followed, but the problem property's residents are still there.
Heard from the mayor, they're on it. The cops say, we're on it. But they don't live with it 24 hours a day.
At County Hall, Mayor Rod Frank is well aware of the issue.
We've been very involved in the file. We've had the residents in, and we've had probably 5 or 6 of our administration right there talking about the file.
He says it's largely out of his hands and that evictions are AHS jurisdiction. He has a message for the agencies holding the process up.
Just think if it was your own neighborhood, you'd want this problem to be resolved, and we have to act. We have to respond to the public. If you need any help from us, we are there. But let's not delay on this one. Let's keep moving forward.
Strathcona County RCMP says it's been working on the file since November and are asking people in the area to report any potential criminal activity around the house. Noah Rashog, CTV News, Edmonton.
So many of us are excited to embrace the sunshine, but sun exposure can lead to serious health concerns. Next, why skin cancer rates are rising, especially among younger Canadians. It's heating up outside. While many people are enjoying the warmer weather or finding ways to cool off, experts are urging us to use proper protection, such as sunscreen. This comes as melanoma cases caused by sun exposure continue to climb. As Tyler Barrow reports, it's not just older people who are diagnosed with skin cancer.
The heat is here.
There we go. Other arm.
For Jillian Dykeman, she wants to protect her children from getting burned.
Sunscreen is really important. I burn very easily, so it's important in my life.
A message experts are hoping others get as melanoma diagnoses rise in the province. According to Statistics Canada, 645 Albertans were diagnosed with melanoma in 2016. In 2023, 1,065. For 2026, Cancer Care Alberta anticipates approximately 1,350 new cases. Even accounting for population growth, the case rate is rising.
One blistering sunburn during your youth can significantly increase your chances of being diagnosed later in life. Boomers, from the 60s, we're seeing those diagnoses today.
The organization held a mobile skin cancer screening recently. It made 19 stops throughout Alberta, screening over 1,200 people, detecting 151 skin cancers and 31 melanomas. It is not just older people catching it, though. The University of Calgary's director of dermatologic surgery says he and colleagues are seeing a younger influx of patients.
People are coming in younger with more sun damage. There is an increased use, from just my anecdotal evidence, of tanning beds.
Scientists say UV rays from the sun, sun lamps, or tanning beds increase a person's cancer risk. The Alberta Health Law Institute analyzed approximately 1,000 TikTok videos relating to sunscreen use. The overwhelming majority promoted using it as protection, but not all.
Videos that were saying that sunscreen is either harmful for you, it's got toxins in it, and you shouldn't use sunscreen, were the most liked, the most commented on, and the most shared.
Experts recommend ignoring those.
We need to stay protected from the sun, sunscreen usage, UPF clothing, sun protective hats.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
The Canadian Cancer Society estimates 120 people in Alberta will die from melanoma this year. The remote interview has become a gold mine for unscripted moments with kids, and this journalist just went with it.
Excuse me 1 second. I need you to leave, buddy. I got a 4-year-old here, and we're one of those viral moments. They're going to flip their calendar next year. Here.
ESPN soccer reporter Ben Strauss was clearly distracted as he spoke on ABC News Live about the impact of the World Cup. So he just brought his 4-year-old son, Henry, on TV. Henry was homesick with pink eye, as many multitasking parents can relate to. Just make the most of it. Henry's there, but you could tell he was trying to get his point out, and he was struggling because there was somebody beside him.
It is distracting. I almost brought one of mine in today who was sick this morning.
It's all good. It's all
happens.
We can deal with it.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A social media influencer wants us to see what kids can do when they don't have a screen in front of them. All you need is a dirt bike, a laundry hamper, and rope for some fearless fun. Their mom, Hannah Beeden, posted the video saying core child memories were created today. The clip has gone viral with over 32 million views, and lots of people are praising the parents for letting kids be kids.
I mean, and the one in the basket, it's not quite so safe, but there we go.
She is wearing a helmet, though. She's wearing a helmet in the laundry hamper.
Right.
And it does look kind of fun.
Yeah.
Gotta admit. Librarians with the Cape Breton Public Library clearly have a great sense of humor. A note threatening your life? Scary. A note that's misspelled with poor punctuation? Worse. The librarian makes a point of correcting all the mistakes, perhaps a subtle suggestion that kids should put down social media and read a book for a change. This post has more than 100,000 likes on Instagram.
I like that she's correcting it. Perfect.
Spelling's important, absolutely. More Canadians can now renew passports without visiting a passport office. Coming up, details on how the digital option is being expanded.
Okay, Skywatch weather camera, and we have some beautiful weather here. Yes, it's hot, but they're getting so much active weather in central Alberta. I'm pretty sure this is what many people would choose over all the storms and tornado watches, warnings, and hail. All right, 30 degrees is current temperature. While it says that's today's high is 30, also current temperature. 24 is what's normal for this time of year, so we are well above normal. We're going to dip a bit into those high 20s for the next couple days in the city, but for the southeast corner, we will remain in the 30s in all of these communities right through the end of Saturday. And then things will start to regulate for most areas on Sunday. Okay, so yes, 30 in the city, 31 in Lethbridge, 34 in Medicine Hat. Not a whole lot of humidity on top of that, which is some good news. Calgary is not under the heat warning, but areas surrounding Calgary, Bragg Creek, Chestermere, over down to Okotoks, through Nanton, over to Lethbridge, Medicine Hat. These areas under the heat warning because we're just looking at that heat lasting right through. And to the north of us, Innisfail and north is where they have that active weather and those severe storms. But we're under a ridge of high pressure. So for here, it's stable. This is your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace Fixed Right, or it's free. And tomorrow, 15 degrees at 8 a.m., 27 in the afternoon, a whole lot of sunshine. One little thing, though, to look at is we may actually get a little bit smokier tomorrow. Moderate to high is certainly possible on that air quality health index.
Thank you, Danielle. City Council is discussing the next budget. So far, it's holding most of that discussion behind closed doors. Councillors and city officials are hearing pitches from police and other departments wanting more money. A woman who walked into the path of a C train along Bow Trail yesterday has died. Police say impairment on the part of the pedestrian is being investigated as a factor. A woman has been found after she disappeared in the Bow River late this afternoon. She was found after she was river surfing near the Ivor Strong Bridge. People planning to hike the popular West Coast Trail on Vancouver Island are being asked to put their plans on hold. Parks Canada has been responding to a growing number of evacuation requests following days of heavy rain. Rivers and creeks are high and crossing them is not recommended. Parks Canada is asking hikers to delay their trips or continue only if they're fully prepared for the conditions. More rain is expected tomorrow. Rocky View County is putting a temporary pause on data center development. Councillors in the county surrounding much of Calgary passed the motion at a council meeting last week. The moratorium is in effect until the county can establish regulations for data centers, which is expected in the coming months. Rocky View County has been attracting strong interest from developers, but also opposition from residents. It was a good day overall for Canadian stocks, while oil prices continue to ease off from the 2-month high they hit last week. Here's a look at some closing numbers. West Texas Intermediate is down over $3 to $79.26. Western Canadian Select is down over $4 to $65.71. And the TSX was up more than 180 points to close at nearly 35,750 points today. More Canadians will be able to renew their passports online. Starting today, online passport renewal is open to all eligible Canadian adults. To qualify, applicants must have an address in Canada, be older than 16 when they got their last passport, and must have received it within the last 15 years, among other criteria. Applicants will still need to get a passport photo taken by a commercial photographer and submit a digital copy when applying online.
For many Canadians, what's the benefit? Online renewal is about much more than convenience. The online service also helps applicants avoid common mistakes and incomplete submissions, reducing the risk of unnecessary delays.
Online passport renewals have been an option for some passport holders for a few years, but the most recent version of the service had a daily cap of 2,000 applications. Chinese Calgarian kids are getting lessons from some special instructors. Still to come, we take you to a summer camp where ancient traditions are being passed down. Canada has won 5 more gold medals at the Commonwealth Games in Scotland. Gymnast Felix Dulcie captured 2 titles in men's vault and horizontal bar. He also got a bronze in parallel bars, giving him 6 medals overall at the Games in Glasgow. Weightlifter Maud Chiron, swimmer Kylie Mass, and hammer thrower Cameron Rogers also topped the podium to add to Canada's tally. Calgary swimmer Lauren Wigginton won bronze in the men's 400 individual medley. The Chinese Cultural Center is hosting a summer camp that opened today for 150 grade school students. For the first time, it's partnered with a university in China that sent 12 instructors to run courses. Organizers say the camp provides younger Chinese Calgarians with a valuable opportunity to better understand their culture and heritage. Kevin Fleming has more.
She signed up for the 10-day camp at the Chinese Cultural Center, and Dorothy Shen is excited to learn more about the traditional dragon dance and its drumming.
Like, they make the background noise, even though it's loud. I actually enjoy hitting the drums. I don't think I can hit it properly though.
So I think it's good things for her to learn more Chinese stuff related and get more interested.
12 instructors have been invited to the Grand Garden Summer Program, where they're focusing on teaching 5 traditional subjects. Students are learning calligraphy, music, paper cutting, dragon dance, and martial arts. Zhang Loi is teaching the students a painting technique that dates back 8,000 years.
We're bringing over 1,000 years of mixed media art of different things that we actually gathered from 1,000 years of the cultural lineage from the Chinese culture. And we are bringing it this time today to the Chinese Cultural Center in Calgary and sharing with all the young the idea of how these art forms really pass on from the oldest time of the years.
Edward Sway is excited to learn more about his culture.
That's because it's through art, and you kind of learn through the art. And once you learn that, you can keep your culture alive.
Teach all the Chinese, not only Chinese, all the young generation in Calgary, for let them to know about the culture of the Chinese here.
Here the students are learning to play a traditional Chinese instrument.
You get to learn a lot of things that I didn't even know about. Like, I've never seen or played this instrument before, and it's really fun learning how to play it.
It feels amazing to be able to connect with people in China, like in Canada, in person.
The camp runs through to August 6th. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
And the Cultural Center hosted a ceremony this afternoon with representatives from the Consulate General of China in Calgary. Okay, Danielle, one final look at the weather. The heat continues and still looking ahead to Saturday. That's a really hot one.
Yeah, Saturday will be the hottest for sure in Calgary. Other communities are already dealing with those types of temperatures around 33, 34 degrees. Okay, here's your longer term look for Calgary into at least part of long weekend here. So 27 degrees is our high for tomorrow. So the next 2 days, we're looking at daytime highs in those high 20s, which is a little more reasonable. Air quality health index may get a little high for tomorrow. We're going to have those winds out of Washington State and Oregon State, and it won't be strong enough winds to do much damage, but we still may have some poor air quality roll on in throughout the day tomorrow, even tonight. Thursday, 28, 31 for Friday, 33 for Saturday, 22 on Sunday. So we get a dip, the weather pattern changes, and that will bring in some thunderstorm activity as well. Weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style budget. And Alberta's climate, and Joanne Oliver sent this beautiful photo in from Pincher Creek last night. Look at the clouds. You can see the wind direction there, can't you?
That is a spectacular photo indeed. All right, thanks very much. Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.